Live we is as the internet catches up with us and tells everybody we're online and things are going on.
It's time for some hype.
Hype! Oh man. Too bad nothing comes out this week.
I know. I wish we had something to talk about.
Yeah, but sometimes you just got to get through the weeks like that. Just got to make it happen.
They're going to be slow weeks, and
no big deal.
Just happens to be one of them.
Yeah, no big deal. But I think that all of mine are showing green now and all this. I think people will roll in or watch us on the replay. We can jump up there. See that? Welcome everyone. Who is you?
I'm Richie.
I'm still Keith. And hopefully we'll remember that since we're doing this kind of thing twice a week now. And then a bonus time when we get the catalog put together. But welcome one, welcome all to Half Hour Hype Tuesday night show. Here we are, 6 p.m. about to put the rack to bed and get everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
And we have both spent our time perusing what is going out, what's going to be live, and we're kind of ready to do that. If you would like to follow along with us at home, all the items that once they're received, once you guys get your email that says what was pulled for you already, then they start becoming live on the website. You can pre-order. You say pre-order because it's pick it up tomorrow or get it shipped right now. That is up on the website. You just go to the shop, the new releases this week, and you get just a little spiffy to this kind of page here.
Just everything available right there. Keith, just so you know, I'm still having chat issues, so we'll have to.
Okay. You're not in the chat yet. Boomer. Okay, we'll work on that one. So this is a live and interactive show. If you are watching us live, please feel free to shout out, say hey, join in the fun of talking about comics and pointing out the things that you think others should pay attention to, because that's part of the fun, is getting that extra level of enjoyment with comics. So on our site, there we go. I see Chris Michelle out there. And if a real quick highlight before we just jump into it and all this, on this page here, please do use all the filters to get to exactly what you're looking for, whether you're looking for just comics, whether you're looking for by the artist or by the cover artist, and even cover themes. We'll hit some of that as we fly through this today, but I will let our courageous captain here choose what he's going to talk about first.
All right, we'll start with something that we could probably just scroll down to. It's called Adventures of Lumen N.
That's the Dark Horse book.
It is the new Dark Horse book. I wanted to bring attention to the
Fagredo?
Yeah, the Fagredo variant. I really liked it. Adventures of Lumen N is going to be a very big fantasy style storytelling adventure, and I just really like I love this cover. I think it just captures the eye. Phil Hester's on the art duties in the comic, which I think will be very good. And I think anybody looking for fantasy, this might sneak up. I think you might want to look out for it.
James Robbins should probably also invoke some good thoughts of past work and things that you're happy with. So could be a little bit of fun. I was trying to remember if I thought that I heard this was just a quick limited 4 or a 6. I would assume it's something along those lines that's going to pop up, and then if they continue the story after that, it will go on from there.
Agreed. I'm pretty sure it's a mini. From there, we're going to go into more adult content called Artificial. This is Maria Lovett.
Is this the Image one? Am I thinking? Yes. Yep.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It is.
Artificial is another, for those that read Maria Lovett, I think it's good that we have her name on the front because it is a whole section of people at this point. She does thriller, erotica style kind of stories. In Artificial, we are running into the future where a very lonely lady signs up for an Android service that provides you with a robotic boyfriend. However, this robotic boyfriend does fall in love with her and then kind of becomes kind of creepy stalker. So you'll see there right at the bottom of the description, it says it's 9.5 weeks meets Terminator. I think that's enough of a sales pitch to get people involved or interested. And another one I think is good to pick up tonight before it sells out on the rack.
Makes sense.
I thought we would take a moment and talk about Alex Ross covers.
Okay.
We came back on this month.
Yep. Let's turn around the Timeless 6 for this week.
So anybody that isn't already, if you're a hold slot, you can just say, hey, tie me to these Timeless variants and you won't miss a beat. If you're not and you're picking up weekly, this is a great way every Tuesday night to make sure you don't miss out on every single Alex Ross that's coming out this month, starting this week. Just use that filter on the side and make sure you pick up each one of these bad boys.
Again, as you're watching at home and running along with us, you can turn around and add all the stuff to your cart. Check out at the end of the show and be caught up with that. This is a new round of All Things Timeless, and I've seen the overall one. You got a different mix of characters. You can see that this is this week especially, very X-Men centric with everybody in that universe there. But some really cool characters that get some deeper cuts on this round.
Yeah, and it's always like when people get out into the deeper cuts where everyone's like, oh, did I miss that? That's rough. All right, let's talk about one I'm very excited about. Everything Dead and Dying on the Image side. I want to talk about first the story. It's going to be a really touching story of a gentleman who has survived the zombie apocalypse. While surviving, though, he didn't really change his life much. He still has a lovely daughter and a lovely wife, but they might be a little bitey now. No big deal. He's keeping track of he's keeping, things close to the pocket because he doesn't want to move on from what he had. And unfortunately, other people are discovering that potentially his family life is a little darker. So we have Tate Bromball and Jacob Phillips, who did That Texas Blood, back on this series. And I think it's going to be a really just heart-wrenching, kind of scary, gross feel, touching story. And I want people to make sure and not miss it. The other thing I thought I'd bring up, which is just kind of a cool throwaway, is one of the variants on this bad boy is actually Charlie Adlard. Which
that seems fitting, doesn't it?
Right, that's what I thought.
Is that that was? I'm gonna use the specific one over here. Mm-hmm. What has Charlie got this week?
So he has a Walking Dead variant, and then he has the Everything Dead and Dying with a little here's the airplane.
Wow. Okay. That's Adler.
That is definitely him, and I just thought that was awesome. So don't miss that bad boy. Available right now. You can purchase that and throw it in your cart.
Wow.
All right, let's go from gross to cute and fun. We'll go into Marvel with Jeff and the Other Marvel Tales.
Oh yeah, little Jeff. Everybody loves little Jeff.
This guy, you may be getting All Things Jeff, but you wouldn't be picking this up because this is a bunch of reprints. It's all of the stories that you've seen from Jeff thrown into one new thing, with some short stories of other Marvel characters.
Alligator Loki, Marvel Meow. Yep.
Yeah, so this is I think it's a cool adventure if you wanted to get all of them, or you just love the covers. Gahururu is on your main cover, so it's All Things Jeff. You want to pick it up. I think it's probably smart to grab this bad boy when you can.
Makes sense.
We're going back to Image with Closer. This is going to be a one-shot by Kieran Gillian, and it's kind of his take on Cthulhu, which is enough for me to buy. At $3.99, it's a cosmic horror story. It is, I know it's going to be good because it's by Kieran Gillian and Steve Lieber, who is also amazing. I think this is just a quick, easy pickup. I think it's going to be a fun, under-the-radar read, and I don't think many eyes are on it.
There is nothing on that cover that makes me think Cthulhu.
Right.
I'm not there at all. I get it. It's there, and you got to read.
Yes.
But this was content that was. Do you remember when Image put out the
Mhm.
magazine?
Yes.
So this was content that was one of the stories that were inside, and it says right here, Image 7 to 9.
There you go.
And then
That
this
was like their
is
big comic that they put short stories in at the end of the magazine. So this is all of it together.
Jonathan wants to know if I'm training meta on comics because of my new glasses here.
Yes.
And then Jonathan Ritchie does, while he may have his heart still stuck mostly in DC.
Yeah.
There's plenty of Marvel for him.
Yeah, like let's talk about Uncanny X-Men number 20, for instance.
I think it's going to be page 2 based upon how the alphabet works for me. Uncanny X-Men 20.
I brought this to check out the variants.
Okay, there's 2 there. It's funny that you segue with this with Jonathan watching us here, because I know Jonathan's a big Rian Gonzalez fan.
Oh yeah,
but Fan Yang
is silly.
All right, I'm gonna blow it up here because there's the 1 in 50 Virgin too, if you really care. But wow,
absolutely stunning.
There's a softness to the style. There's a kind of like, almost feels like a little bit of a gloss. You know what I mean? Like how
the thing I like about this is that it mixes Artgerm and Derek Chew for me. There's action background, and then there's a softness to the character, like you said. It just definitely directed, like just browsing through our website, I was like, good God, what is that?
Fan Yang's only had a couple I've seen so far, but almost every week that we've carried has completely turned around. Sold that. So yeah, Jonathan says he's going to buy and then send it back to me in 6 months. Yeah. You're allowed to keep it. It's okay.
It's okay to do that.
But
all right. So we're going to talk a little bit about Batman later. I think we'll save that for the end of the show. But a lot of people have been talking about the Delato cover that's coming out for Batman. I did want to bring in the same vein of just awesome covers. I wanted to talk about Batgirl number 11 and the Delato cover that's coming out with that.
This month, Delato's has been the featured artist.
Correct. So
for DC.
So he is bringing it, and I mean his Ivy's just as good, but that Batgirl is incredible.
You want me to enlarge that? Is that what
I do. I want people to see that. It's so good. Batgirl's not a comic we order up on, so I'm sure we don't have a ton of these. I think I should highlight it and make sure everybody gets a snag at it before it's gone. But goodness gracious,
that's worth attention. The reds on that are really, really strong. Like that is he's always been a person who can play with the lighting and get things set up really well for that. So that's pretty good. I'm not going to argue about that one.
We're moving a little fast, so I want to slow us down and talk about Transformers second printings. And I was thinking like this is a good spot to show them off, because second printings and stuff, as we've talked before, are one of our harder things to order. And especially when we're in the Transformers world and they like to go, hey, it's issue 19 on its third print. And you're like, what? So we definitely order them, so they are available. They're just in kind of short demand. But I assume that if you're either trying to collect them or you're trying to just catch up on the story and you're never here when the other ones sell out and you don't want to miss this is an excellent way to look at these covers. But there's kind of a special thing with Skybound second printings, is especially in Transformers and G.I. Joe and things like that. He likes to do 2. So there's 2 different covers, both the same price, but with different themes. Like it's usually Autobots or Decepticons and vice versa.
Jason Howard has had stable work here from Skybound here since the entire Energon universe has kicked up. There is one there, if you'll notice, that on 19, those characters are not Autobots or Decepticons.
Correct.
Like if you know the Transformer universe, you know that there's some other offshoots out there. And so what we do to differentiate the two and all this, we've actually named them by what the character is.
Right. That's a good way of explaining how we do it to separate which cover you're looking at and buying.
I think, if I remember right, this one here, the Quintessence,
Mhm.
Those are, if I remember right, those were the characters that were in the movie. And remember the Dare to Be Stupid Weird Al scene where they were all the that race that was kind of, you know,
Yes.
I thought that was the quintessence. That
Okay.
might,
It's a deep pull, but
but I also think that they're part of the ones that, like have the 5 heads that switch around and all.
Mhm.
It's some deep stuff. I feel a little bit out of my, Transformers total comfort zone about all knowledge kind of thing.
yeah,
All this.
we're getting
It's
into
been
the
a
deep.
while. It's been a while
Yeah.
for that.
And not
Like
only that, but
it's easy to turn around and see one of the Destructicons. Like that
yeah,
stuff's easy.
yeah, that's easy. So there you go. That is how you can find all these second printings and third printings and fifth printings and ninth printings. Check out Transformers and pick your favorite, or grab one of each so you don't miss any of the covers.
You can search for them pretty easily on our website by using the Transformers and Howard. That will find you a lot of what we stocked these pretty deeply because I knew that there was fandom that was going to care about either certain characters or start playing the collect-a-set and doing that. So we have additional printings out there that are going to be the Jason Howard stuff, all that. And we've recently gone through and made sure that the website's stocked with all the ones that we still have in stock.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about the past, but also new for some reason. It's called Adventures of Superman, House of L. This is a wild one, gang. So if you can remember back to 2021, we did this thing called Future State. It was a look forward into what was going to be the future of DC Comics, the very, very far future. And they were technically just potentials. At the time, there was a book called House of L, and it was by, I believe, I can't remember the creative team, but they were talking about the future of everybody that was Superman, the family living in a time of peace, who have built new societies based on that, based on the Superman world and mythos. Well, it was huge at the time. Everybody really loved it. And because we're in the summer of Superman, I think this was actually supposed to come out a little while ago and got pushed out. And this is the return of that series and the close. So this is from 2021's House of L Future State. This is a one shot.
Philip Kennedy Johnson was doing action.
Thank you, Philip Kennedy Johnson. God, that was on the tip of my tongue.
I'm going to be honest with you. It was there for me, and I had to cheat and click on the page to get there.
I was struggling. Thank you.
So that's how I got to that there. Was doing action. All that stuff was tied together, was in there. And this is that continuation where they find that it's the appropriate time to bring the story out and not overshadow other things that are going on in the Superman universe.
I believe I tied everybody that if you're a hold slot, if you were on Superman, you are already tied to this. So if it's something you were interested, go ahead and keep it. If it was like, oh, I didn't care about that story, you can push it aside.
We have a real quick comment out there. Any updates on the non-sport cards in the store? Hey, non-sport, I am working constantly to bring more and more to the website. Two things about that is under shop, you can look right here under the collectible trading cards. You can jump into that and see what all is up there. But if there's something specific that you're looking for, please send a message to the store through any of our socials, through the chat on the website, whatever it is. I can turn around and prioritize some stuff that you're looking for to get it more available there. So I do know this. I am constantly going to have a weekly show now on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. That we're me and a friend, Amanda, who is the Great Gamer Online. We're going to cover a set a week. And tomorrow's set is Batman Hush. Nice. So join us here on the I Want More Comics socials, or on Grady Gamer, or my own personal one, Hobby Archival. We will be having fun there.
All right, let's move on to White House Robot Romance from Distillery.
Oh yeah, and I remember seeing this because of the creative team.
Yes, Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah, that's
on this book.
What it was.
It is a new series. Here's the thing about Distillery. and I'll be real with everyone. I love every take Distillery has done. I dislike how they're producing their comics and the time in which it takes to release. They've had some serious delivery issues on a personal work side, but on a personal collector side, I dislike oversized comics. But I got to tell you, I have just absolutely loved every story I've ever read from Distillery. They've
Now,
all been
I'll
good.
jump in with you about like the timing and all this.
Yeah.
They've gone through 2 major changes or shakeups about who is distributing the comics, and I think that has caused a lot of concerns and issues in their stuff. The good news is that they are now at home with Penguin Random House, which gives them a large distribution deal and set up there. I'm seeing all the stuff that has been on delay getting caught up and put back onto the schedule, and that like this honestly was announced a long time ago, and it's finally.
You're muted, Keith. Sorry. Yep. You're back.
No idea. Hopefully you can hear me now.
Yep, totally can hear you.
Give me 1 sec to I gotta get Richie back to me. They should be smoothed out now. They should be there and back up and active.
Excellent. So with that said, let's talk about the storyline here. So White House Robot Romance is Chip Zdarsky, and for those that don't know Chip, he is excellent at comic book quirk. And in this case, what it is it's 2 AI robots that work for the White House. That's Service 1 and Chef 9, who basically fall in love with each other. Unfortunately for Service 1, he's being scheduled to be dismantled. And Chef 9 decides that her love for him is too much and they are going to run away together. The problem is Service 1 has all of the United States plans to take over Canada. And if it gets out, it will be a world war. So it is just, the thing is that it's got some seriousness. It has some wackiness. It has some sci-fi thriller. I think it'll be fun for everybody reading it. It will be a great time with Zdarsky at the helm. I have no doubt of that. And I thought I would bring it to everyone's attention because I will definitely be on it.
That's terribly interesting for a story plot line.
Isn't it? It just kept getting weirder, and I was like, yeah, I'm in for it.
Well, that's the point. You can kind of trust Zdarsky on that because of where that could go.
Mm-hmm. And the final thing I brought to talk about was a little bit something from the past, but also something that has worked. And I wanted to reallocate the focus on this. So it is from Marvel, and it's called Spider-Man 94.
Oh, man. The number, I had texts from people asking about this. There was something that went out on the internet wrong last week that it was supposed to be out last Friday.
Oh, no.
We're like, that doesn't really make sense and all this, but people were asking about this left and right.
As they should. I grew up with this cartoon as I did with X-Men 96, and I think that this is in the same vein. It's going to continue our love. It's going to continue to expand the universe of the animated series that everybody I know watched. And I think people should jump on as quickly as possible and not miss it. Without looking, I'm going to say it's another mini series about six issues long, something to that effect, just like they did X-Men 97. And
the only thing that's curious about that I've heard back and forth is that because this is a pickup from where the animated stopped, and that I didn't watch the Spider-Man animated, but I heard that it was a terrible cliffhanger. That people,
it's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, people were like, "You're killing me, Smalls." But it's going to pick up with that point and continue on. It may go long term. I have heard some rumors and rumblings that it may go long term because I don't know. I haven't heard anything about this being in development for them to actually do a show like they're doing with X-Men 97.
So this could be the tryout.
Yeah. So I think that if we're going to talk about everything, I think that there's a little bit of a holdup about the book because remember how Spider-Man is not completely back with Marvel. There's still deals with
Yes.
Sony.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of stuff going back and forth there. And so for them to just do this as a animated cartoon and put it on Disney Plus, it will be tough.
Yeah.
So what can they do instead? They can absolutely continue it as a comic book. And I think it's going to catch fire here. I think there's going to be plenty of people going for it. We're stocked pretty decently on it to be able to handle the people grabbing into it. We may still get blown away by the number of people that want to jump in on it.
There's a lot of Spidey-Man avenues now. So you have your Ultimate, you have your regular run, you have your Spider-Man with Miles Morales and Peter Parker, and now we have 94. 94 is one of my sweet spots. I loved all the adventures in there. I really am excited to continue on in that universe. Quick shout out to the really cool JTC action figure. It looks like something I'd snag right off of the
It fit that pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And that will lead me to handing off to talk about a character I'm somewhat familiar with.
Yeah, I heard you were doing some research on this guy, so you could turn around.
Yeah. I thought I'd talk about this new comic coming out tomorrow. It's called The Batman. So we are in a new era of Batman 2025 #1. That is correct. You heard me right. We are rebooting. We are back to #1 on Batman. And with that comes just an array of insane variants. It is being run by the writer Matt Fraction, who most people can comparatively put him with Hawkeye's run. And we have our artist who actually got to design all Batman layouts. So any Batman you see from here forward will be now under Jorge Jimenez's design. You can see the design variant down there. Mm-hmm. And so it's a brand new thing. It's a great jumping on point. If you've been reading along, you know why we are hitting this point. We're kind of moving Batman forward more into the role of a mentor rather than a brooding solo artist. We've ditched the black and gray to the blue and gray. We have a ton more gadgets. We are in a new Gotham which is kind of lit up and very gorgeous. Interiors on this thing are stunning, and that's really good because we do have giant size comic books coming out with them. You can see them as a selection right there. With this, Keith has been kind of showing you up and down all of the variants that you can get. There's just icons like J. Scott Campbell, Art Germ. There's Andy Kubert, which is great. That's the one in 25. You can't miss on this. I'm a big fan of collecting the logos, so I went and got my logo variant already. But there's also another thing that they added with this release, and that is, the new hot intervention of blind bags.
This book almost takes a guided, a museum guide tour to figure out all the different options that are going on with it and all this. But we'll hit it real quick right before we come to blind bags, because blind bags are kind of the pinnacle. Mm-hmm. You start with the A cover. On that same A cover here, we have the virgin foil, and you have both the giant size one in foil. Those are all options. We also have purchase here recently brought in the correct size bags, so everybody's getting them really nicely taken care of. And then you get into your, what would be normally your alternate covers, right. Your regularly priced alternate covers: Del Otto, J. Scott Campbell, Jim Lee, Frank Wiley, Mark Silvestri, and Tedesco. Well, above and beyond that, before we got there, the ratios of the Kubert and the Aja, the 1 in 5 is a little strange. The 1 in 5 variant is actually only 1 in 5 based upon what the store ordered for their blind bags. So it wasn't 1 in 5 versus everything.
Right.
That's going to change the math about how many of them are out there. I don't think it means, don't take that as a red flag of, oh my God, that's the deal of the century and that's the one. No, it's just a good book, but if you're really looking to get all of it, that one may end up becoming a little bit scarcer in the future. The Art Germ foil is also something really special here, and I'm going to jump into it first because the regular Art Germ foil that's on the rack is a $24.99 foil. That's the cover price of it.
Mhm.
And it is a wraparound cover foil. And Richie has educated me a little bit about this, that this is a new character that we're seeing on the
Yes.
back.
A
Yep.
new doctor scientist that Batman deals with.
So that's interesting. And now that you said Dr. Scientist, I've read that. I know what it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
You do
I
know who that is, yeah.
I did read the previews on this when they wanted us to order to the moon,
Yes.
and we followed them. So all of those are available, but then we get to the blind bag. And the deal about the blind bag is this, is inside the blind bag, any of those main covers that we saw, you could get them in a foil version. So all of those there, we've got them listed, the Menez, Kubert, Aja, all of them could come in a foil version inside the blind bag. There's also two high-end ones, a 1 in 500. Out of every 500 blind bags, you have a Jim Lee alternate foil, so it's not the same Jim Lee.
Mm-mm.
And there's a 1 in 1,000 Jorge Jimenez alternate foil. So those are rare. The other part is that the Stanley Art Germ front cover, because on the rack we have foil versions of Art Germ, right? The
Yes.
$24.91 is the wrap. This is front cover foil only. So we believe that means it's just going to be, like you won't have that extra character.
Correct. It will just be Batman on the front there.
So the fun of rolling the dice and opening up a blind bag and hitting, something inside there, that's pretty cool. But the one thing that's done differently of this over the Battle Beast is that everything in here is unique.
Correct.
It's unique to the blind bag. There's no repeats of what's already on the rack. It may be similar art, but it'll be a different version.
Exactly. So I think, Keith, what we're going to do is we'll open our own. We'll open a couple just to give people an example of what you're in for on a blind bag. I'm getting 3 myself.
Yeah, we'll post up a video so everybody can kind of see it.
So be on the lookout for that in our social media. Tomorrow morning, we will bust out a couple copies before we open the store. We can't do it tonight because we're not allowed to.
Yeah, you're not allowed to show off what's inside of those ahead of time. You can pre-buy anything that you want that we have up available on the website. That's not a problem. But you can't have anything in your hands, and you can't see what's inside the blind bag until tomorrow come DC's rules.
And as we are lawful good, we will not do so. And you will see it tomorrow at 9 a.m. I think we can do it.
Yeah, we can do something at 9. Yeah, okay. We're I know a couple stores are going to be doing midnight.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
And it's not really clear if that's allowed or not, but whatever. It's we can definitely turn around and show it off tomorrow. Besides 9 our time is what, 11 Eastern time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's out in the world by then.
All right. Well, that is the end of the show for us today. I hope you guys had fun. Remember, this is an interactive live show, so please come join us. If you're seeing this later, you will catch us every week at Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can also throw in your favorites, something that maybe I'm not talking about. I'd love to hear what you guys want to talk about and see, and we can show them off as well.
Absolutely.
So join us. Either way, I will see you all tomorrow. We will be right back at it, okay?
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.